Hello everyone, we are Geeks Not Nerds. I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Vince.
And we are at Free Comic Book Day.
That's right.
And Pop Culture Comics in Overland Park, Kansas, our official sponsor.
Trying to give away some free stuff.
Yes, we're giving away free things, and we're talking to folks and asking trivia questions and having all kinds of fun. And today, we're going to talk about Superman renouncing his American citizenship.
That's right. Renouncing. Because America is theoretical. Or quoted in something.
No, I just really like air quotes, is the thing. Okay, so, and I talked about this a little bit on Late Night, but in Action Comics 900, there was a backup story, a 6-page backup story in which Superman renounced his American citizenship. And the media is making a huge deal out of this. And the first thing I wanted to bring up is DC, as far as I know, has gone on record to say it's not canon.
Really?
Yeah, like it's not, as far as anyone can tell, this is not going to influence anything. It was just a backup story. It's just an interesting short story to explore the possibility of what would make Superman renounce his American citizenship.
Yeah. You know, first of all, I'd like to say that I support DC's ability to create a backup story that shakes up their universe. I mean, not their universe, but that would supposedly shake up their universe. Say,
I mean, just to try out an idea and see how people react to it.
I mean, just show you a story and then say, that's just a story. I'm glad you guys found it, interesting enough to talk about regularly, but it's not part of our universe.
When I read it, I didn't even think about it. Like, it made national media. People are freaking out about it. People are saying that, it shows the decline of America and that kind of thing. And, it's a sign of the times. This is certainly something that Superman would not have done 30 years ago.
Right.
But it's an interesting idea. Like, I wasn't against them for doing it, and I didn't even scratch my head when I read it. I was just like, oh wow, that's an interesting thing. I never thought about what would make Superman do this.
I mean, it's not like Superman's saying that he would never help out America again, or that.
Yeah, he was saying he doesn't want to represent American policy. Because after all, he only did this in the story because the government was like, well, we don't like the fact that you're, representing us in foreign countries and trying to, and seeming to, dictate policy. He's like, well, that's the way you feel about it, then I no longer represent America. That's all that means, renouncing his citizenship, is just, I no longer want to be the face of America if you don't agree with how I'm handling things.
Yeah, so, why are people getting all upset about it? I mean,
Because, and the reason they're getting upset, and I understand this, but it's honestly just people not getting. It's honestly just people not getting how comic books work, right? The reason people are getting upset about it is because Superman is an American symbol. So the idea of Superman renouncing his citizenship tells something about how people feel about America, and that maybe we're not as patriotic as we used to be, and that kind of thing. And so I think that's why people are getting so upset about it.
I mean, there are a lot of stories that try to do some political statement. I mean, even Marvel did their little dress the Punisher up as Captain America. So, which, to my understanding, and it makes sense to me, I heard a professor tell me this at one point. He said what that really stands for is that they're trying to make a statement about about America becoming a vigilante state. I'm like, well, that makes a lot of sense that somebody would say that. It makes a lot of sense that somebody would make that commentary at this point in time, especially when it happened at the time that it did. But really, when it boils right down to it, it's not something that's going to be, like, for example, it were to actually happen in the regular continuity. Superman's always been of the world. There's nothing that stops Superman from going somewhere and saving people from a natural disaster in, say, India.
Yeah, but at the same time, he doesn't dictate, American policy. He doesn't go, and I mean, that's always been a big debate with Superman is, well, he has these superpowers, there's no one who could really stop him if he wanted to do that, and so, he has never, purposefully taken advantage of those powers and done this, but what if he did? That kind of thing. And so as long as he hasn't, it's been okay, because he's on our side and all that. But once Superman goes around and starts saying, well, I agree with this idea, but I don't agree with this idea, and I have the superpowers to back it up, that's when people have problems. But in the story, he just went and stood somewhere, and that was enough to influence people. And America said, we don't like that, you're dictating policy. And he said, no, I'm not, and I'm done with you.
And then suddenly the black suit and the long hair come back.
Right.
But what do I think about Superman getting rid of it? His citizenship. I'm okay with that.
I don't think it means he's not a symbol of American values, even if he were to do this. And understand, once again, he's not actually doing it in the mainline continuity. I think the problem with comics sometimes is they are serialized, and we expect everything to influence everything. But comic books are a medium. You can tell a short story. You can tell a self-contained story.
Yeah.
that doesn't have to impact anything else.
Not everything has to be canon. I mean,
I think we just have an obsession with canon right now, and I think that the news media doesn't understand how comics work.
I think there are a lot of people that are obsessed with canon. I think that's a topic in and of itself.
Yeah, well, and and the whole news media thing is also a topic, and we did this a long time ago, I think a year ago, about, okay, do you remember when we did that episode about SpiderMan getting laid off?
Right.
And he didn't actually get laid off, he was fired, and the media made a big deal out of it, saying that, Marvel was doing a comic book that was a social commentary on the economy, and on the fall of the economy, and that they weren't doing that at all, and it had zilch to do with the economy. He was fired because he made a mistake.
Right.
And we were talking in that episode about how the media blows this kind of stuff out of proportion, and that's exactly what's happening here. It's the media blowing something out of proportion because they don't understand it.
Either that or they're bored. We had nothing to do this weekend, so we read a comic book and
But
got
see,
upset.
in this case, that's not true, because with that other thing, nobody else seemed to care. In this, there are a lot of bloggers and stuff that are up in arms about it. It's not just the media, it's bothering people. And I'm like, I don't know, I mean, somebody wants to write a short story that's doing some social commentary in DC, and whether you agree with it or not, it was tastefully done. I could see both sides do it. It wasn't an anti-American message, and more importantly, nobody's doing a big 4, 6, 10 issue arc about it.
Yeah, and Captain America divorced himself from the American system. I mean, and he still stood for American values.
And he didn't change his name.
He said, "Look
He
at me."
didn't call himself Captain World. Sorry, I said that on late night, but I still really like your joke.
But Captain America really did, in continuity, decide that he wasn't part of the American government anymore.
Yeah.
He just jumped to the side. I mean, what's the problem with that? He said, "Look, I'm for the American people. I'm for whoever wants to be included in the American people." And the American people has always been considered a melting pot. So therefore, I think people are looking at it the wrong way.
Yeah, I think so too. This would be a different story if he was just coming right out and doing this and they made a huge deal out of it. But you could do it in a preachy way, and then that's always bad. But that's just bad storytelling. That's not politics. So, I don't know. Does it reflect badly on how people are seeing America and how America is acting as a country? I would say it certainly is a sign of the times.
Yeah.
But again, I think that's a writer, and I don't remember who wrote that particular story. It doesn't matter. But I think that's a writer making a commentary, and whether you like it or not, people can do this.
Yeah.
It's interesting, and again, like I said, it's tastefully done. I was interested. I thought it was a cool idea. It
seems to me that you will find more anti-war and anti-government media in storytelling than you will the other way around. So,
well, that's true too.
So it just seems like a logical thing to put into a book at some point. I mean, maybe it wouldn't have. Maybe it's just taken this long for somebody to think, I'm going to do this with Superman.
So anyway, what do you think? Is it bad that the story was published? Because again, as far as we can tell, Superman didn't actually in canon renounce his American citizenship. I mean, there have been people even saying, how's this going to impact the new movie? It's not. It's a 6-page story. So anyway, tell us what you think. Also, if there's something you'd like us to talk about in a future video, leave that in the comments as well. And thanks a lot for watching. I'm Captain Logan,
and I'm Vince, reminding you to support your local comic book store.
We'll see you next time.